Hey, how you doing? Let's check out this Battlescroll update that we got today. Point changes. Point changes. Art by Jar Miniature. Thanks to my patron Panda. Here's a question for you. What kind of stuff would you like if you became a patron? I don't know. You tell me. Not really sure how this game works. Still learning. Art for the channel donated by Wybarian. It's got a link in the Instagram below. And if you're going to buy some dice, you might as well use code MDG with Baron of Dice. You might as well. Make me happy. Ugh. Cool. Here's the points updates. So, this is for Orruk Warclans. Break a Boss on Meyer Brute Troggoth went down 10 points, sitting at a pretty 170. Gorgerak, the Fist of Gork, down 20 points at 420 now. Kill Boss on Corpse Ripa Vulture, down 10 points at 190. Kragnos, the End of Empires, dropping 20 points to 700. Merknob with Balchabana dropping 10 points to 60. Orruk Ardboys dropping 10 points to 190. And Swamp Boss Scumdrek going down 10 more points to 270. So let's kind of go through these one at a time and have a look. And so, just like on first glance, a lot of these units aren't really played very often, except for the Ardboys. So the Break a Boss going down 10 points is nice. However, I personally find that with the Break a Boss, it's hard to actually fit him into lists. I do see him pop up a lot in Cruel Boys lists when people are posting them in Discords, because people absolutely love this model and people genuinely like this War Scroll. And I tend to agree. It's a War Scroll and a model and a unit that I wish that I would include more often. And I try to fit him in whenever I'm playing more casual games, but I just never really feel like he's a really good competitive option. Break a Boss, I think, is at his best if he has Fasten, and if he's being used with Super Sneaky. Like, if you get Super Sneaky and then shove him into your opponent with Fasten, like, that's pretty strong. He slaps pretty hard, but in Big Wa, he's kind of a non-starter because we're fighting for those hero slots, and unfortunately, he just doesn't make the cut, even though he's really good. And in Cruel Boys lists, I personally have a hard time fitting him in because I definitely want a Sludge Raker, I definitely want Gobsprak, and I want 3 Swamp Call Shamans. And then by the time I fit all the Bolt Boys and the battle line requirements into a list that I want, I personally run out of space. But I know there's lots of nerds out there that are going to be super pumped that the Break a Boss is coming in points. And to you and your lists, I say, good game. Have fun. Gorgerak, the Fist of Gork, coming down 20 points. The only impact this is going to have is for Ironjaw's lists that run 2 Maw Crushes. If you like playing 2 Maw Crushes in an Ironjaw's list, this is for you. 20 points. That combined with some Ardboys you might be able to sneak something extra. But overall, kind of a very niche point reduction. Kill Boss and Corpse Ripa Vulture. 190 points, like I really want to play this unit. I want to really like it, but it just doesn't make the cut. It just doesn't make the cut. The problem with the Kill Boss on Vulture is that the War Scroll offers pretty much no utility. Commanding View, where you can issue the same command for a second time but still have to pay the bloody command point, it's just so much worse than the Mega Boss's ability. What's it called? Ear-splitting bellow? I can't remember what it's called. But where you get to issue the same command multiple times where you only spend 1 command point. Being able to issue the same command again for 1, it's like, obviously in Big Wa that's not going to roll. And, I don't know. It's like, the Vulture, I feel like this Vulture wants to fly off and be a flanker. The things that he really has going for him are his speed. But he's not even really that fighty. He's not that fighty. So it's like, if he's running off and being a fast flanker who's also a monster, the Gouger's probably better, even though the Vulture's significantly faster. I think he's 5 inches faster and flies. So I don't know. Some people play him, some people like him. So enjoy that, but I don't know. It's like he just needs a better utility on his War Scroll. I just got my fingers crossed for 4th edition because I love fast flying models, and the model itself is just fantastic and beautiful. So, but for 50 more points, Gobsprack just brings so much more utility. So much more utility for 50 more points. Kragnos being dropped 20 points. Who cares? Who cares? Some ogre player out there cares. That's it. That's the only person that cares about this. The problem with these god models is that if they're too good, they see play in all of the armies. And if they're not good enough, they see play in none of the armies. So I'm glad that we don't see Kragnos, because I wouldn't want to be forced to play Kragnos in every list that I play in Destruction. For those of you that have been following the AOS 4 leaks, spoilers, you'll see that Nagash has a war scroll that changes based on what army into which he is slotted. So hopefully we'll see the same thing for Kragnos. When you're balancing a model like this, you have to make his points and balance him around the army / subfaction / list that he is the strongest in. And then in every other army, he sucks. Right? It's like, well, like he's doing really good in this Ironjawz list, so we have to change him up, and then he's just bad in everything else. So, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I hope that they can rebalance them, and realistically, like, these kind of models should only be like a strong B, weak A tier at best. If it's S tier, then it just destroys the meta. Then everyone's playing Kragnos. It's not fun. Working out with Belch Bennett, down 10 more points. Biggest problem with this guy is his hero slot, so I don't know if reducing him in points is going to matter. If he was going to be good this season, or if he was going to be good, he was going to be good this season. And I didn't see him. Did you? Let me know in the comments below. Probably the most significant change on this list, and the one that's going to have the biggest impact, which is not very big, is the Ardboys coming down 10 points. Lots of Ardboys are played in Big Wa, so this is 20 points that Big Wa players get. For me personally, I don't think this is going to change anything in my list. I kind of looked at it, and my personal Big Wa list was 1990 points, and so now I have 30 points to spare, and so I could throw in a Gravetide. This change gives me a Gravetide. It also means if I wanted to that I could take my Snarlfang Riders, and I could change them. Not even sure if it would be an upgrade, but I could definitely change them into so it would leave me with 150 points, and I could take some Bone Splitter, Boar Riders. But I doubt I'll do that. To be honest, I might just take the Triumph. So they're still trying to make Ardboys good in an Ironjawz list that runs lots of Foot Orcs, but unfortunately, I just don't see it. Bloodtooth, they need to rewrite the sub-factions, because Bloodtooth is just so much better than the other ones. But some people find success. So, we'll see. Again, it's weird being an AOS player right now. I'm not sure how you guys are feeling, but I just kind of feel like, who cares? 4th edition's coming. 4th edition is coming. Ardboys go down 10 points. It's like, whatever. And then the last change on this list is Swamp Boss Scumdrack, down another 10 points. Probably would have to be a lot fewer before it was good. I wonder what it'll be like in 4th with unique heroes. It'll probably just stay the same. I think it's more like a Path to Glory, kind of like those kind of players that play these models. Gordrak is only played if it's the second Mega Boss, and Swamp Boss Scumdrack is only played if it's the second Sludge Raker, because Fasten is just so good. The only time that I've personally put Swamp Boss Scumdrack into a list is if, for whatever reason, there's no enhancements that I want to put on my Sludge Raker. He's not the general, he's not taking Fasten, right? So if you have a Break a Boss with Fasten and you want your general to be a Swampcalla Shaman, it's like, cool, take the Swamp Boss Scumdrack, save yourself a few points, because he's 20 points cheaper now, right? Or is he only 10 points cheaper? But you can save yourself a few points, and Scumdrack just has some better abilities, right? Like if you compare Scumdrack to just a regular Sludge Raker, Scumdrack is better, but when you throw in all the enhancements, it changes the math, right? Cool. So yeah, not very significant. Yeah. These are my notes. Yeah. Kragnos have to be 500 points. Yeah. Okay, up next we got the Gloomspite Gitz. The Arachnarok Spider with Flingers down 20 points to 230. Dankold Trogoths dropped 10 points to 180. Fungoid Cave Shaman down 10 points to 100. Greencrat's Looncord and Greencrat the Great as a package are up 10 points to 230. We've talked about Kragnos down 20 points at 700. Loon Boss down 10 points to 80. Loon Boss on Giant Cave Squig down 10 points to 120. Mangler Squig down 10 points to 250. And Sneaky Snuffler's up 10 points to 160. Arachnarok Spider with Flinger probably still not playable at all. The problem with this model, with this unit, is that from what I remember, I'll just look it up real quick, but he's a Horde Breaker. He does, like, he has that Flinger ability, and it does, like, an amount of damage, or you roll a number of dice equal to the models in the enemy unit. So, if there's no target, then there's nothing to shoot at. There's nothing to do with it. Right. The Flinger. The attack's characteristic of a Flinger is equal to the number of models in the target unit, to a maximum of 20. In addition, if any attacks made with this unit's Flinger score a hit, after those attacks have been resolved, roll a die. On a 2-up, the target unit is entangled until the start of your next turn. While a unit is entangled, half its move characteristic, a unit cannot be entangled more than once at the same time. Okay, so it's like, so you roll the number of dice equal to the number of models. So 5 dice. It has a 36-inch range, but it has no rend. 3s to hit, 3s to wound, no rend, 1 damage. So it's obviously at its best when it's against a block of 30 somethings, where you can just throw a ton of dice at it. It has no rend, but hopefully you're shooting into something that has a 5-up save, right? Or a 6-up save. Like against like 40 Stabbas, this thing is ridiculous. It's just gonna like deal lots of damage, but a lot of the times there's gonna be nothing to shoot at. And it's 250 points. Well, I guess 230 now. But still, I just don't see it. It's too expensive, and it sometimes it'll kind of do nothing. Sometimes it'll kind of do nothing, and that sucks. I hate having a model on the table that sometimes does nothing. Doesn't feel good. Dankold's going down 10 points. Cool. I'm sure that there are some Trug players out there who like to double or triple reinforce Dankold Trogoths, or double reinforce. Sorry. So this will save them a few points. That's fine. I really like the Fungoid Cave Shaman, and so giving him to me at 100 points, it's like, great, sure. Greencrat, they're just trying to nerf Herd. They're trying to make the Herd list worse because it's the best Gitz list. I think by a lot. A friend of mine just ran 2 double reinforced blocks of Herd at a tournament and did pretty well, because it's just a lot of teeth. 2 wound squigs are silly. I'm glad also that they're going to half-inch coherency in 4th edition. That'll help with lists like this. Make them a little bit more fair. Yeah, Greencrat, more points. Yep, Kragnos, who cares? Loon Boss going down. Again, they're just trying to make units that don't see a lot of play. They're trying to it's like, hey, don't play squigs. Play some Stabbas maybe, because look at this Loon Boss. That's pretty cool, right? Loon Boss on Giant Cave Squig also going down. From what I remember with him, he fights with Bounders. Right? Loon Boss on Giant Cave Squig. That's really his thing, right? Yeah, he sort of looks like a Bounder, like he gets +1 damage and +1 rend. And then when he fights, Bounders can fight right after. So, and he's okay, but he hits on 4s primarily, so it's not like he's not super great. He doesn't really offer any utility. That's the thing. He's like a Bounder hero. So, I don't know, whatever. I have the model. I just never really play it. Mangler Squig going down 10 points. So, Mangler Squigs don't really see much play, and they probably won't really see much play. They are kind of weak, even though they are monsters. The reason that the Loon Boss on Mangler Squig gets more attention and sees more play and is way more fun because he gets to take enhancements, specifically Fight Another Day. So when you charge in with a sorry, when you charge in with the Loon Boss of Angler Squig, you sort of like jump over screens, you do all these cool things, you have that monstrous action that, you know, lets you bounce around, and then you fight and then retreat. Like, it's cool, it's fun, it's interesting. It's like, hey, here's this bouncing giant Mangler Squig in your ranks. And so, but without all of that cool stuff that you get from the enhancements, the Mangler Squig just, I don't know, it's not that interesting. Its ability, it's like it flies. When it dies, it falls over like a timber kind of thing and lands, whatever, and does some damage around it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just, Mangler Squig's just too expensive. Too expensive. And Sneaky Snuffler's up 10 points. I think they were 140, right? Then they go up 10. Now they've gone up 10 again. So, yeah, again, they're just like, hey, don't play Squigs. Snufflers are really good. So 160, it's like, sure. They're great. They have a good number of models. They're really flexible. If you teleport them, they're pretty consistent. And if you get that, if they're under the light of the bad moon, that 1 in 3 chance of adding +1 attacks, like, they're a really strong unit. So this is a fine change. And I took no notes for this. But yeah, thanks for checking it out. And check out tomorrow, because I can't wait to see the magic update for 4th edition. Come check it out. And come check out the Discord. Come check out the Discord. People posting lists all the time. The spring league that we're running right now is entering into round 3, so that's a lot of fun. Yeah. Like, subscribe. Wow.